business now. So where you could rent your own video. And then I went on to college, to Spelman College, a historically Black college for women. I did that and I flunked out of college, people. Uh, you got to hit a wall eventually. And so my wall was in college for one reason, is that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't even know what an entrepreneur was. I just knew I was born for business. I was born to transact. I was born to exchange money, to sell to people, and as a result of that, I chose business over going to class. And eventually it took me 11 years to get out of college, 7 different universities. But at the same time, I was making money the entire time. So I think, I don't know, being creative, being a co-creator was probably most important to me because it was preparing me for my future. So I went on into corporate America. I did very well there in sales. I was a manager for Los Angeles, California. Had several people that worked for me or worked with me in sales. I did that for 3 years. And this is where a turning point happened in my life. And this is, I just knew that I would grow up and be a CEO of a Fortune 50 company. I had that kind of passion. But I had a turning point, and that turning point was the voice of God that asked me, would you do this? Would you go and serve 2 leaders who were in business? And this is what's so amazing. And they've been to Zambia as well, did a lot of work there, training children, training young people to be entrepreneurs over the last 40 years. And so they said to me, would you be willing, the Holy Spirit said to me, would you be willing to go and serve this team? I left a job making over $100,000 at the age of 28 to go and serve these 2 amazing people. They loved God. They put God in their business. And that's what they really began to teach me how to serve God, serve him in my business, and be about God's business. And I served them for 2 years, going from $100,000 to probably like $12,000 a year. That's a really big gap and a really big sacrifice. But I can say to you, it changed my life because I was obedient. I met my former husband there 2 years later, and I knew I would. The Holy Spirit told me that as well, that I would meet him there literally on that ground. I did. We married very, very shortly after, and literally was on a whirlwind acceleration together. And we started a company in 1998, and this is absolutely amazing. All things are possible. And what I want you to understand is that your company may not be as large as mine. Your dreams may not be may appear as large as mine, but I can tell you this, whatever you are born to do, it's what you're born to do. When you have an idea and you have a dream, you have a hope to change one person's life, that's enough. And so we started that business. And I'm telling you, in 1998 to about 2001, we raised $375 million to invest in communities around the country to do real estate development, real estate revitalization in underserved communities. Then we went on to raise another almost $500 million over our career to continue this journey. And we're doing that today. So today we develop smart cities. We develop in communities where people are less fortunate. And we have taught over probably like 30,000 people financial empowerment, entrepreneurship. We have also created over 27, almost 30,000 jobs with the projects that we've done. And so I am honored to be here with you. And my journey to the continent of Africa is a calling. I am committed to the continent. So doing this is an honor and a gift to be able to encourage your heart that you are able, you are capable. And if you will just trust the voice that you hear, the direction that you receive, you are going to do amazing things. And so what I think would be the greatest gift that I can give you is, and I know in one of the things you're working on right now is something I absolutely love, and that's the business model canvas, the lean canvas. You can trust it. You can keep adjusting what you're doing. You can keep tweaking the things or changing things that you're doing, and it's going to work for you. So I'm going to pause right here just to give you an opportunity to ask a question or to make a comment based on what you've heard. After we do that, then I want to share with you just inspirationally the anatomy of an idea so that your heart can truly be encouraged to keep moving forward, to keep dreaming bigger, to keep asking for help. So it's your turn now. I've left you all speechless. So any of you had a question or what we like to say as a coach, just in that short bit of an introduction of my journey, what is your takeaway? What have you learned from my experience?
Thank you so much for sharing. Are you able to hear us?
You're welcome. Yes, we can hear you, but it might be the person that's speaking, if you just come up a little bit, we probably hear you a little bit better because you have your mask on. Yeah, if you just, yes.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think your story has really motivated us. But I have one question. You said you started first working, then after that, then you had God actually to say you need to stop. You stopped whatever you are doing, then you came to save some families. I wanted to find out how did you know, how convinced were you that that was God who was telling you to stop your job? Because it's not easy to stop a job that you are getting a very good salary.
Yes. Yeah. Let me tell you, and you can certainly wear your mask. I'm not asking you to take it off. I'm just asking you to speak up a little louder so that we can hear it if you have it on, so all of you are comfortable. You say, what actually made me know? Number one, I've been a believer my entire life. I don't think I've known a day without God. That's the first thing. Number two, in this journey of my life, all of the failures and the successes, and let me tell you, because I failed out of college, then in my family, my mother and father said to me, you have made your bed and now you must sleep in it. They had committed, and my mother had 5 children. All of us were in college at the same time. We were like stair steps. And because I chose the wrong priority at the wrong time. The wrong priority was trying to advance and help myself and make money, right, with my parents. But the right priority was to get my education. And because I chose to do it differently, I ended up failing out of school. I was the second in my class coming out of high school. I was appointed to the Air Force Academy. I chose not to go there because my mother had a dream of her daughters, one of her African-American daughters, to go to a Black historic college. And I happened to be that person. And so I chose to do that to satisfy my mother's heart, but I was in the wrong place, number one. It really wasn't the right place for me because it didn't serve me. But as I continued to make my way, I ended up sleeping on couches, sleeping in my car, getting evicted out of apartments because I didn't have the money, you know, even though I was trying to make money, I didn't have it. So by that time, with that kind of, resilience or struggling through trying to be great, because I knew I was great and I wanted to be great for my mother. I wanted to be great for my father. I wanted to prove them. I know I made bad choices, but I can turn this around. So as I continued through that, I always had my faith in God, no matter what. And by the way, I've been a youth minister I've always been called to ministry, but I've been a ordained minister for almost 30 years. And so my faith is what kept me moving towards the right choice with God, towards righteousness, which are nothing more than right choices. And in that moment, when I met this couple, I just knew. But over and over, their names kept coming to me through other people. I even saw a flyer of them at a hotel counter where they were there just minutes before me. And the guy forgot, he forgot the flyer, his papers there. And I saw their name. I said, oh my God, are they in this hotel? And the lady said, they just left like 5 minutes ago. So I kept hearing their names. And by the time I finally met them, I was buying a cup of coffee on the side of the street and through a little coffee vendor. And she said to me, you come here every day. You come here every day, but do you know these people? I mean, you seem like a pretty industrious business person, or you seem like you're doing business and you got it going on kind of thing. And so she said, do you know Alan Hattie Hollingsworth? And I said, I've heard of them for about 5 years, but I've never met them. She says, why don't you come and meet them this weekend? And I acted on it. I said, I'm coming. And I went to their home. They were doing Christian business ministry in their home, teaching us how to be about the Father's business in our business. And I said, I'm going. And that's when I had the opportunity to meet them. And I spent a year, by the way, sitting at their feet, going to learn their principles. And as a result of that, when the Lord spoke to me, it was a yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? I love to answer any questions that you might have around business or even around what you worked on today. I'm very informed in that way. Are there any questions? Ladies, y'all are my people. Y'all my people. I've spent the last 3 years traveling to 40 countries to empower women, to educate women, to touch the hearts of women. Literally. Hello.
My name is Constance Mali.
Yes.
I wanted to find out the challenges you used to have since you said you're in business for a long time.
Mhm.
What are your challenges? Yeah, I want to know
Yes.
about that. Yeah, because in business we have some challenges. Maybe you go down, you go up, just like that.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, so I want to find out how can you avoid that? Is it normal you can have those challenges? That's my question.
Absolutely. Challenges, first of all, I think business, we're all faced with one simple task, right? And that simple task is to find the person you were called to serve. And we call that person a customer. That's our hardest task, I believe, in business, is really connecting with the person we think we have the gifts, the abilities, the talents, the products, the services to actually serve. With that in mind, it is a constant struggle for me on a daily basis in our business to be able to identify that customer. Now, I know that you all on that business, on the lean canvas, the first space that we have to look at is the customer segment. You will never overcome this challenge. You will never overcome it. You will always have to be consistent to address it, meaning that you can't choose one customer today and think that's the only customer that you're going to serve. You're going to have to constantly be thinking about the customer. What customer am I going to serve? What value am I going to bring? And we have to get over the challenge that we're worthy of serving that customer. And that's where we renamed worthiness to what we call competition. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's where we put it. We put it where we have competitors, or they can do it better than me. We compare ourselves to that. But at the end of the day, we're just asking ourselves, our company and the people that we work with, do we believe we're worthy to serve these customers? And if you cannot answer that with a yes, you will always be challenged in your value proposition to believe that you're really bringing value to the marketplace. Another challenge that I am consistently faced with on a daily basis is focus. I know every single one of you are faced with this challenge. So we have to define what we believe focus is. We have to define it. I do know this for sure. Any human being with any level of intelligence has an ability to do incredible and remarkable things if they focus. And focus is in time periods. It's not in big pictures. It's in moments. It's in 20 minutes of focus can bring about the solution that you're looking for in your business. 20 minutes of focus can help you remember a relationship that you met 2 years ago that is critical for your business today. But because we're so involved in random mediocrity in business, just random, anybody coming into your life, anybody coming into your day, taking your attention off the focus of the goals that you're setting. So the challenges are, when we think about business, we are all challenged with money. Everybody needs money. Okay, just go ahead and accept that. You will always believe you never have enough money to do your business. That will be your greatest crutch as it relates to you achieving your business. But all of us start businesses with no money because they come out of our minds. They come out of our thoughts. They come out of our hearts. They come out of visions. They come out of dreams. That's our initiation into business. Once that happens, we accept it, you know, and then we have to determine if we're willing to actually bring it to life. But we all start businesses with no money, but that will always be your greatest crutch. I can't do this because I don't have this. I can't do this. And so I want to introduce you to something that's called relational currency. Your relationships are your greatest banks. Women start businesses differently than men. We start businesses with our sisters, with our mothers, with our daughters. They're our currency, they're our money, they're our point of exchange. We figure if, in the case of in Zambia, many women are in agriculture. They work in the marketplace, or they bring their things from farms and they bring them to sell. You don't have to, all you have to do is have the product. Get on the street. You could start selling product, right? The way women sell, how we do business, we find our sisters. I started a chicken farm in Jamaica several years ago with 4 women who were teachers. They had a teachers meeting and I spoke at that meeting. And after the meeting, these women sent me private notes. And they said to me, would you talk to me about my relationships? Would you talk to me about my marriages? How can I do business if I'm in a marriage? By the time we finished speaking with those 4 women, what I discovered is that within their group, they wanted to make more money to buy houses. They wanted to make more money just to pay school fees for their children. They weren't trying to be, you know, the #1 company. They just wanted to make money to make life better. By the time we finished a 1-hour discussion, we discovered that each one of these women had a specific gift. They had a specific talent that when we actually wrote it on the board, we realized, hey, here's a business opportunity. And it was raising chickens. One woman, she knew all about it. Her father had raised chickens most of her life. She knew exactly what to do while we were sitting there. She knew exactly who to call. She called the suppliers. By the time we finished, she knew exactly how much it would cost to start a business, and start that business with 2 rounds of growing and maturing chickens over a 6-week period, to take them to market and then to start another round. The other 3 women, this was so amazing. One, she says, I'll sell anything. I'm always selling in the market, so I'll do that. Another woman says, I don't know how to raise chickens, but I know how to clean them and prepare them for the market. And then the final woman says, guess what? I know how to manage money. I know how to count. So what we realized is we put together in that 1 hour an opportunity, just a pilot program for these 4 women to understand how powerful it would be if they came together as a unit and started a business. That business supported them for almost 18 months. And then there was a challenge that they had. They had a tornado or hurricane or something in Jamaica, which wiped out all of their equipment, wiped out all of their chickens. And so they decided they did not want to continue. But what they got out of the business was simply, all they wanted was $50 more a month could make a difference in their lives. So I'm saying to you, when we talk about relational currency, I call that money. So you see how we all got together, we started this business, they were able to support themselves. For us, we do it differently. We believe that our relationships are everything, that if I go to my sister, if I go to my mother, they will say yes and they will help me. But there's something important you need to understand about your relationships. They are money. You build what we call in business, we build equity. This is the value we bring, right? In relationships. And that equity that you build, did we lose them? Or are they still here? I think we might have lost them. But I'll hold my comments.
Let me try to get back. Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries.
Before our, and just to let you know, we've also been broadcasting this on Facebook Live. So I know that those listening at home are hopefully really getting a lot from this as well.
Yes, thank you.
Such an incredible testimony that you have.
Well, I'm delighted that Jenna just like, I'm reaching out to you. This is what we're doing. You look like you would be a perfect person. And she didn't know the Zambian background. And our daughter actually married a Zimbabwean. I took her to Africa, and I think it was in April of 2013 or 2015, somewhere along in there. I said, I'm taking you to Africa. Took her there, took her to Uganda, took her to South Africa, and then we also went to Zambia. And she said, I'm gonna marry an African. I know it. Well, guess what? She marries a Zimbabwean. So she's been married for 3 years.
Story. And now, you're more of a global entrepreneur than and an investor. It seems like you just really have covered such a wide scope nowadays with your business. And are you more of an advisor?
I am. I'm an advisor. I feel like I am called in this next season of my life to transfer the principles of the kingdom of God and business to the next generation of kingdom citizens, our Gen Zs and our millennials that are much younger than I am. I'm at the end of the baby boomers. I'm actually 55. And so, but I'm called to this youthful space. You can see all that, all that energy. God just stored this up so that I can have it at this time, to have taken my own journey and now to be ready to take the journey with younger people. And it's super exciting. And I'm meeting a lot of amazing entrepreneurs. Yes, I do need to make even more money so I can invest even more money around the world. And that's what I'm working towards in this latter part of my life, is finding those opportunities where I can do that.
Oh, praise God. And certainly that's such a blessing that you're able to just pour in. And I think as we all get to these different phases of life, we all make that assessment of where are we at now?
Yes.
And where are we going? And how do we leave a legacy? So that is truly beautiful. And maybe if you can, and it sounds like they're trying to reconnect. I think what might be good for our more Facebook audience is you hit on this idea of just building community. That seems so important, ecosystems, and maybe just kind of as they're coming back on, maybe finish that thought, and we can obviously get him
Okay.
up. That would be beautiful to
Sure.
hear.
And it's really great using that word ecosystem, because I think it is an ecosystem, this relational currency. And it really starts with investment, relational investments, how we invest in each other, how we spend time to get to know each other, to do, even as in business, to do our due diligence with each other, to look at our track records, to see where we connect, how we can collaborate. And then the next part of that would be the relational equity that we build into that relationship by being there and supporting each other over a protracted period of time. We've called it how we play our chips, how we serve each other, how we, if I introduce you to someone, I'm going to use my chip. That's been the language. Whereas we're teaching people, the language is the more we support each other, right? Like today, we are building, I am investing in this relationship, right? The more I invest, the more equity I'm going to build with the people I'm serving. Then we have currency. Currency is meant to flow. It is meant to transact. And this is where we called it chips. We're going to use our chips to introduce you to this great person. I introduce you to this opportunity. Well, that currency is determined based on, if I say to you, Adam, that Don is my friend, and I'm going to give him a call, and he is going to help you do this. Now, all I'm doing, I've invested so much into Don, and we have equity in our relationship. And you can always tell if you do, if we can spend currency. Right? Relational currency says that when I introduce another friend and I introduce Adam to Don, our equity in our relationship is so valued because we've invested in each other that he is going to respond. He's going to trust me enough to allow me to transact or exchange my currency to have that conversation with you. And so that ecosystem, and then the next part of that ecosystem is relational reciprocity. Most people forget that part. They like to be in the currency part to start that cycle of investing, and then building up equity, then using the currency to exchange it. But then there's that latter part, which is the relational reciprocity. This is how simple it is. In the marketplace today, we have people, and you probably do the same. You give away information, you give away value, right? You constantly give this away. Many people take from that. They take it and they'll give you their email and they'll move on. But there's the principle of reciprocity that we teach. When you are partaking from others and it's really valuable to you, then a way to give back beyond that email is to share it with someone else, to tweet about it, or to put it on your Facebook, to reciprocate the value that's been given to you if it's not something you've paid for. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So just to repeat, I think you came in that I was talking about this kind of ecosystem of your relationships and how important they are. And they will get you through that greatest challenge of never having enough money. And that is having relational currency. It starts with you investing in each other, spending time with each other, knowing what your capacities are, knowing what your abilities are, knowing where your talents are, just like the chicken farm. Each one of those women had a different talent. The more we invest in each other, then what we're creating, just like we do in our companies, we create value. We create equity. This is something that is valuable that we can exchange for other things. And so the third part of that is you have relational investment, relational equity, and then you have your relational currency. Let's see, you guys, you use the US dollar in Zambia, right? As well as your currency. So you have what we call relational currency, where your relationships, they perform just like money. Things that you would have to pay for. You have built or you've invested in a person or a business or a relationship that perhaps you don't have to pay that money. This is the example I can give you. We deal with millions and millions of dollars, right? And then when you're buying a piece of real estate, when you get serious about it, I don't know how it works in Zambia, but we have to put deposits down, okay? So if you're buying a million dollar property, or 10 million, in this case, $100 million property, you might have to put down $100,000 just to be a part of your word. Like, I'm gonna stick with this, I'm gonna do my due diligence, I'm not gonna waste the buyer's time. So we call that putting down hard money. What that means is that you will not get this money back after you've exceeded the due diligence process and you don't want the property. That's how serious this is. That's how serious your word is, your currency is. That's why this is important. Your word is greater than your dollar. Your word is greater than the money you think you're going to make. Your word is your currency. And how it turned out for us in a real situation, we were buying a portfolio of properties in Florida. Our broker who represented us, he went to the buyer and he came back to us and he says, well, you know, the buyer is not really, he doesn't really want to sell this portfolio, but he'll talk to you about it. But in order to talk to you about it, you've got to put down $100,000 of hard money for him to even get into the process with you. We said we were willing, okay, we'll do that because we want this portfolio, right? And so the guy goes to him and he asked him, he said, who is the buyer for this product? Who's the buyer for the portfolio? And he said, Richmond McCoy is the buyer. He said, oh, man, tell him never mind about that deposit. He's a man of his word. Do you see? Your word is your currency. And in that case, we didn't have to put $100,000 down. We ended up buying that portfolio. But again, someone else who wanted the same opportunity would have had to come up with the money, take that risk, and that's why your word is your currency. So in relationships, that is our first priority in business, is to make sure we build an ecosystem of great relationships, ones we have invested in, others who have invested in us, others who have reciprocated the good things we do for them, and likewise given back to us for what we do. And so that's kind of the ecosystem, to have a generous network of relationships. All right, you getting your notes? You're getting your notes, but you can always go back and watch this again. So again, it's what? Just say it with me. You say it after I said, okay? When to build this relationship, this ecosystem, the first thing is relational investment. Say it with me, relational investment. Just repeat after me. The second thing is when we invest in each other, we build what's called equity, which is value. So that becomes our relational equity. Say it with me, relational equity. Okay, then the third thing is, because we have relational equity, then we can spend our relational equity, which we call relational currency. The example is this. I know Adam, Adam knows Don. Don has something I need, which I probably can't afford to pay him for, but because I know Adam and I've invested in the relationship with Adam, we built value with each other, he trusts me, then he's gonna use his relational equity, his relational investment with Don to give me an introduction. And so therefore he is spending what? Relational currency, because he is a man of his what? Word. Come on, talk to me. Because he is a man of what? His word. So your word, repeat after me, your word is your currency. Now say, my word is my currency. All right, so say this with me too. My word is my currency, because I invest
because I invest
in my relationships
in my relationship
to build value.
to build value.
And I am a person
And I am a person
of a generous spirit
of generosity
to give to others
to give to others
as they give to me.
as they give to me.
Bam! Drop mic. That's some good stuff, people. That's some good stuff. I wish I was there. I'd be giving you a really, really big hug right now. I'm giving you a high five, a bomber bump, or whatever you call it. And I'd have my mask on. All right. So do you have any additional questions? I'm not sure how long we're supposed to go, but I'm happy to answer any questions, but I wanted to give you that gift. It will change your life. It will change your business. It will change your community if you practice it. Hello. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? Hi, how are you?
So do you have a question for us?
Yeah, not really a question.
Okay.
Yeah, where you said that God talked to you, I was
Yes.
so happy. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, because each time I'm doing my business,
Yes.
I would pray.
Yeah.
Then after praying, maybe after 3 days, I'll have a dream. Like that's a dream, it will come clear to me.
Yes.
Normally, I don't follow those dreams.
Okay.
I'll do the opposite thing. And maybe after 3 months, that same dream, it will come exactly the way I dreamed, like in my business. If I have a dream like someone is sick or someone has passed on, in 3 months, if I don't pray for that person, that dream, it will come exactly. Yeah, so when you said that you heard when God was talking to you and you did the same. So it's just that this year I realized that each time God would want me to be close to him, like I don't do that. Each time God would talk to me, I'll just say dream. I'll be busy with my business. Then the dream will keep on coming. So I'm so encouraged and I'm just speechless. And I'm very happy that someone has explained the way you have explained. We should hear when God is calling you. When God is speaking, we should hear. Like to me, mostly I don't. And me, I'm one person, when I pray even in 3 months, God will show me that I don't follow those things. Then after I lose even that person, or I lose something that I dreamed, I'll be like, oh no, I saw it in my dream. I wish I could pray. Yeah. This thing, it's been happening since I was at school. Yeah, I started when I was in grade 7. So like here in Africa, when you tell your parents, they don't take it seriously. At some point, I told my mother, she was like, no, this is my Shabewa to take you to churches. They need to pray for you. Yeah, my mother, she didn't take it serious. So yeah, but since I've grown and I've come to realize like in this year that God wants to use me. And I've already started seeing things changing. So I'm very encouraged, very encouraged.
Thank you. I would say to you, you know, what I think I heard multiple times is that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think I heard you say that you have dreams, but you do the opposite of the dream. Is the dream a bad dream or a good dream around your business?
Bad dreams.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that might be, you know, God speaks to us so many different ways. And since you've been having these dreams literally since you were young, it's just the way It's the way he communicates to you. And it probably is the way you respond. You know, you might take that sign from God more as him speaking to you because you value his protection. Protection means something to you. Do you understand? And so how he speaks to us in ways that we can interpret that for ourselves. Now, the other person, it might be the same thing for me, but because of the way I am designed and the way my journey has gone, he's going to speak differently to me. It may not be a warning dream. He's spoken that way to you. So you respond that way. It helps you. And it's not bad. It's not evil. It's just the way you respond, right? That's going to get your attention. And you know that you've done it enough with him that you keep getting those good results. So you're trusting that process. Whereas for me, he speaks to me differently. He speaks to me when he's revealing to me knowledge. He's revealing things, whether I'm asleep or I'm awake, but it's a different journey because we all have different journeys and different ways of growing and walking with God. So keep trusting him if you're getting the best results. There's no reason for you to question that. You might not want to have the dream, but obviously that's how he's communicated to you because it means probably security, protection, being safe. Those things matter to you. And so maybe that's how he speaks to you to keep you moving in the righteous direction. Anyone else with a question? And thank you for sharing or comment. Come on, don't be scared. I ain't even in there. Boy, if I was in there, y'all be scared, man. Y'all be scared. But come on, bring it on. We're in the family together. Yes.
One more. From your explanation, David Nyerere here again. From your explanation, I've seen more like business. The way us Christians are supposed to do business should be different from the people that don't know God. Mm-hmm. If I heard you correctly, you said we need to save our customers. Yes. Meaning we have to create a relationship with our customers, not only because of the business, but because we want to develop a relationship that will lead also maybe to know God. Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. I think if we if we're going to take this in this direction as believers and as people of values, people of character, people of integrity, I believe connected to who we are, every customer that's coming to you, if you get into the space and into your flow with God, into your place with God, the customer that's for you is going to be up ahead. You're going to meet that customer and nobody else will be able to serve the customer. Here's the problem. Most of us have a scarcity mentality that there's not enough. There are so many people in the world, so many needs that need to be solved. And if you believe that you are really walking in purpose and get in alignment with that purpose, you're going to run into the people that you were created to serve, that you were made to serve, that your life that you have lived brought you to this moment. And only you could be that person to solve that problem, to sell that tomato. I'm telling you, if you care about people, if you see anybody in here have agriculture where you sell in the marketplace, if you do, you're in the marketplace and you're a part of the marketplace. And some people will come to you all the time and they're buying your tomatoes or they're buying your vegetables, not because they love your vegetables so much, it's because something inside of you is serving them. Your smile. I have a friend who she's a smile. She was born to smile. Every time she smiles, they don't know what to do. Why? Because she carries that joy and she expresses it, and so if we get out of our heads and allow our hearts to lead us, I like to be heart-led and mind-supported. Heart-led, mind-supported. Heart-led, mind-supported, which means that, you'll never respond to the dollar. You'll never respond. If you see a person, something in your heart says, this woman, she needs this more than I need it. Let me give her an extra tomato. See, that's what God is looking for from the people in the marketplace, to not be wrapped into what value we've created on our products, but he's just bringing people who need to be served, people who need to be loved, people who need to be encouraged, people who need to be filled with hope, people who need a touch from you. And so at the end of the day, our businesses are great. No matter what we do, you will not be able to take them with you. You'll have no say into what happens when you're gone. So do the very best that you can do, living, loving, and leading people as you serve.
Wow, that's truly powerful.
Thank you.
And I hope everyone is kind of taking notes today. Anna has brought to you all perspective on not only running the business fundamentals, but putting your heart and soul into it, and putting faith into it. There's some elements there, and certainly, you know, we don't want to necessarily say and project on all you that you have to do it that way. But I think Anna has showed you that there's value in allowing God into those moments. So praise God for that. And, you know, I hope that each of you, and for you, Anna, and for everyone there, we're on a journey with you guys. And so I know you're going to get some more training. Sounds like a little bit more today. Some tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to talk a little bit more about getting into the financials, and a little bit more on messaging. So, you know, we want to take all of this thoughts and bring them into, okay, now that I know where I'm going, how do I get there? How do I get there? And I hope that each of you guys is taking some of the notes and are able to push it out to get it where it needs to go. And we've got digital tools that we're bringing forward to help you guys. That's what we're going to talk about Thursday, with Facebook and using the WhatsApp group. So we want to get you there. But Anna, I know that they're gonna just wrap up here in Zambia. It's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
So we'll probably sign off. But you know, we always do a closing photo, and I'll go ahead and sign off on the Facebook, and thanks to all our friends on Facebook that were watching, and we hope that you did get a lot out of it. And I'll go ahead and stop the recording here.
So Adam, I am the author of 3 books. One is called Building Generational Wealth, the action book, which is out of print. I only have hard copies in my garage. The second book is called Woman Act Now. And this is Learn, Launch. Wait a minute. Let's see. Here we go. Learn, Launch, and Live Your Dream. It's about 300 pages. So what I will do is I'm going to send you this in a digital format, in a PDF format, that you can send to the men and the women. And I would encourage the men to read this book as well. There's about 70 pages in the book that's just on building generational wealth. And some of the topics in this book, there are 27 chapters divided into 4 different ways: dream, believe, build your brand, execute, and make the connection, talking about those relationships. But it's teaching them how to know themselves, what others say about us, how to get over criticism, how to find the right relationships. And so for the gentleman, even though it's woman, it says man act now on there too. I'm just saying. So you can change the she's to he's, but there is so many principles. So I'm going to send you this in a PDF format that you can share with your with the cohort. And then I have a third book, which I will also send to you as well, which is a biblical. It's a biblical journey around being decreasing, no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And it talks about walking powerful with God at 0, meaning that we decrease, we totally decrease so that the greater one who is in us can arise in us. And that particular book talks about walk powerful, successful, walk powerful in vision, walk powerful as a sent one. What God has called you to do as a person and how you are greater than your business. Let me just say that. Your business is not your identity and it does not define who you are. Your business is the vehicle by which God will use for you to reach his people. You are greater than your business. So when your business fails, you do not fail. The business, you're look at it this way. You finished serving that population. Now it's time for you to do something else. And so if you always remember you're far greater than anything that you do, you are God's greatest miracle, and he's going to use everything you do to accomplish his purpose. And so I'll send you that. That particular book is designed into 12 group studies. So it might be something that you want to incorporate with what you're sharing with them. So for those who want to really get together and study this, it's designed that way. I did it for a group of about 6,000 women in Nigeria to come together in circles of 3. So you can do it with as few as 3 people to go through that book, or as many as 12. When you get beyond 12, it's make another group. That's how it's designed.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
And we're thankful for that. And I know Jenna and our team will follow up for you. We would love maybe looking at some ways to share more of that goodness. And I love that. I took a lot of notes of the bite-sized snippets, just even what you said about you're bigger than your business.
Yeah.
I want to hear everyone say that there in Zambia.
Say, I am bigger than my business. And actually the word is I am greater than my business, because we serve the greater one. When you decrease, I am greater than my business. Say it with me. Greater? What? I am greater than my business. Oh man, I'm telling you, I love being here with you today. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the room with y'all, man, it's on.
No, this is incredible, and Anna, we're gonna definitely try to get you back because that's so much.
Just count me as one of the team members. Call up on me. Just let me know when you need me. I can teach any business principles. In fact, today I am teaching another group at 4:00 today on the business model for empowering 1 billion women. So I'll be on that in that community later today. So anything that you might even think about, you might want, trust me, I have been a trainer for 20 years, so I can bring all of that to you. And if it's a subject matter we don't have someone to teach, I can learn it and teach it. So I'd be happy to support you in any way that I can. I cannot wait for my next journey to Zambia, and it's probably going to be within the next 2 years after COVID, after we figured out how to live with it and how to overcome it. And then I'll be back on the continent. I've got to get to South Africa and Nigeria, and I'm going to make my way to Zambia to meet some of these amazing souls and amazing human beings. All right, my sisters and my brothers, I can't wait.
Yeah, we're excited too. Well,